Marcel's Wally Emmanuel Acho. Let's head back to the NBA, where the Bucks can take a commanding 3-1 series lead with a win tonight. Trae Young is questionable for Atlanta, but the Bucks' power duo is set. Giannis is a two-time MVP, but Khris Middleton stole the show in Game 3 with 38 points, including 20 in the fourth quarter. Giannis seems to have no problem deferring to him late in the game. Take a listen.
We were like, get the hell out of the way, give him the ball, take us home, Khris, and that's what he did. I trust this guy to death. And if he wants the ball, he gets it. Simple as that. He was knocking down shots.
Man, got to bring in Fox NBA analyst Chris Broussard. But Acho, should Giannis care about being the Bucks' closer?
Absolutely not. Giannis is playing the game of basketball the right way, and here's the problem. We live in the wrong society. And that's why we can't identify what is right, because we live in a society of wrong. I didn't plan on starting here, but I got to start here. Y'all remember LeBron James last year, Game 5 against the Heat, I believe it was, closeout game. LeBron James is driving to the cup, 4 people on him. Ball, game on the line, so he kicks it back to Danny Green, who's literally paid to be right there at that time to take the shot. We criticize LeBron James for that play. LeBron James finished the game with 40, 13, and 7. Broussard, you know this because you were analyst of all analysts. We criticized him for that play. Who did we praise after that game? We praised Dame Dollar, and we praised Dame Dollar on Twitter, because what did Dame Dollar say on Twitter just after that when asked, did LeBron make the wrong decision? Dame said, no, he made the right play, but I would have shot on both they asked, close quote. Over 21,000 retweets and 133,000 likes and 2 chuckles from my co-host today. With that being said, we praised the dude who literally admitted he would have made the wrong play, but the selfish play, and we criticized the dude who had 40, 13, and 7 for making the right decision. That was LeBron James. I am not going to make that same error. Giannis plays a game of basketball on his team the right way, understanding, you know what? I might not be best with 3 minutes or left in the game when we got to get a bucket if they're completely collapsing the paint. Let me go ahead and let Khris Middleton take over. I am not going to live in a selfish society mentally when the team is the way that is always going to lead to ultimate success. Giannis shouldn't have an issue with not being the Bucks closer.
I'm actually with you, Acho. Look, this whole you got to close the game if you're the superstar thing is ridiculous. I'm going to take you back in time.
Take me back, CB.
The great Magic Johnson, right? And it was the Showtime Lakers were Magic's Lakers. He wasn't the closer. 1988, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was 41 years old, averaging 14 points a game. And they went to Kareem at the end of the game, and the phantom foul on Bill Laimbeer. Kareem gets fouled, hits the 2 free throws. They win Game 6, going to win the series. Magic wasn't the closer. Even 1987, which we all remember Magic for the what? Junior sky hook. Magic told me himself that he was the third option on that play. He said James Worthy was the first option. Kareem was the second option. Neither of those was there, so Magic took it. Did he complain? Why am I not getting the ball? Why are you drawing up the play for me? No. And we don't hold it against Magic. Doesn't hurt his legacy at all. You mentioned LeBron, Acho. Let's go to 2016. Golden State, a minute 9 left. Guess who's inbounding the ball? LeBron James. Now, Scottie Pippen is talking like inbounding the ball is for scrubs. LeBron James inbounded the ball to Kyrie, runs over to the opposite corner, and stands there while Kyrie shakes it up and puts up the 3-pointer over Steph Curry. We can go to the point 4. I was in the building, 2004, Shaq and Kobe against the Duncan Spurs. They, point 4 tenths of a second left. They inbound the ball to Derek Fisher. Kobe's there. Shaq's there. They go to Derek Fisher. He turns around and hits the historic shot.
My dog.
So, look, I'll say this.
Say it.
Giannis should be concerned about continuing to develop the skills that would make him a better closer, right? Work on your jump shot, your mid-range, your 3, your post game. Continue to work on that. Not so you can become the closer, but so that you can be a better player overall and that will make you a better closer.
Oh, man, I hate to disagree with you guys because your takes are so strong. Damn, CB got receipts. Physically, literally, in the closet, everywhere. They're just falling out of his pocket, those receipts. I respect both of your takes, but I wholeheartedly disagree. First of all, let me let you know who I really am. My name is Marcellus Vernon Wiley. I have a sociology degree and a psychology minor degree from Columbia University in New York. You know why I have those degrees? Because I like to study the patterns of behavior in life and just make it simple. Y'all getting way too complex with this. One, let's not be so narrow-minded to think that when you say closer, that means that you have to always take the last shot. No, let's just expand that when we talk about a closer. And this is why Giannis should care that he's not being considered the Bucks' closer. It's an instant demotion as soon as you consider yourself not the closer. Let me tell you why. Because upstairs in their psychology, they're already thinking, oh, you're not the closer. Oh, excuse me, let me personalize this. Oh, Marcellus, you don't need to be on the field on third down, money down. When we need you most, we'll let somebody else go handle that. As soon as you give them an inch, they take a mile. Now, we're not talking literally here. You must always take the last shot. Kind of Kobe Bryant in a sense, most of the times. We're talking about just figuratively. Like, you just can't let them think that you're not the guy that's most clutch on your team when you're actually the best player on your team. Giannis, right here, look at this, man. He scored at least 30 points in all of the 3 games that Middleton had 30 points this postseason. Wait a minute. Giannis has the most games over 30 points this postseason with 9. And then Middleton only has 3, but every time he gets his 30, Giannis right there with him. Come on, you guys. We can't give him that. We can't allow him to make everyone think in perception that I'm not as clutch. I think Acho had a take about this maybe a week ago when he was saying, Giannis looked at Middleton one day and said, man, why am I passing you the ball when... Put out your face on there because I think I'm going somewhere. Why I'm passing you the ball when I'm the dude that could do the same thing that you do, but you're getting the credit for it. So I'm sorry, y'all. I've been in this position before. I'm not giving them anything to pull on. I'm the man. I'm the closer.
Here's the thing, though, Sel. If you are questioning your authority or your rightful space in that team, then, yeah, you got to question if you're the closer or not. You got to question whether or not you need to be. But when you're secure in who you are, you ain't got to have that issue. Broussard, true story. Okay. Me and Sel, just before this block, during commercial break, I was like, hey, big dog, like, you were just as good as Pat Williams, right? Like, Pat Williams is who, in the last break, he was saying, well, Pat Williams was better than me. I'm like, Pat Williams played a few more years, but y'all both made the same 3 Pro Bowls, both were all pros, etc. But then we kind of conceded, when you content where you at in life, it don't matter if you praise another individual because you're good with where you are. You're secure with where you are. Giannis is secure with where he is. 2-time MVP, Supermax player, beloved by the city, beloved by the majority of basketball fandom. I don't think he's worried about little things like, oh, he's not enough of a closer. He's just worried about being chips, and that has to do with his security. He knows he's safe, thus he's not worried about winning a war of words. He's worried about winning a war of titles.
Ooh.
I also don't think we need, you mentioned it, Marcellus, taking closer literally.
Yeah.
The Bucks aren't defining a closer. You know, Mike Budenholzer's not in the locker room saying, okay, when we get to the 4th quarter, Khris, take us home. You getting 80% of the shots. No, I guarantee you, if Drew Holiday was the hot hand and was doing what Khris Middleton had done, he might have got the last shot. Like, that's what the Bucks do. And here's where it will hurt Giannis, and the only place it'll hurt him. When you nitpick and you're talking about who's the best player in the world or who's the GOAT, if he ever gets in that conversation, that's when you're nitpicking about a bunch of phenomenal players, right? They're all great. And so you look for little things they weren't the greatest at. So if Giannis is in a discussion with Michael Jordan or somebody like that, then you'll say, well, Jordan was the closer, though, too. And that's where Giannis would fall short. But outside of things like that, it doesn't matter, because without his 32 and 15 that he's giving them basically every night in the playoffs, they wouldn't be in position for Khris Middleton or anyone else to close.
That's real. And let's keep it real. because nature keeps it real. And I learned so much from nature when I get all complex like you guys, and I get ahead of my skis, and I start figuring things out, and I'm running calculus. I say, hold on, let's go basic math. Watch nature. Because sports are primal. And I don't understand why people don't understand this. It's really primal. Let's give you this example, because Acho and I always have this argument. I have never seen a player ever defer voluntarily on any team in my life. Ever. What happens is, consciously or subconsciously, you realize I got limits, or that guy's better than me. So because I have limits, because that guy's better than me, all of a sudden we're going to term that as deferring. Let me give you another example. When you get in the car, it's your car. In sports, every single player wants the keys. Stop lying to yourself. That's why when it's your car, you ready, hey, Chris, hey, Acho, let's go to the beach. Guess what you scream out first? I got shotgun. You ain't never heard somebody say, I got back seat. You know why you ain't got back seat? Because nobody wants to be in the back seat. And you know you better not ask for these keys because, boy, this is my car. And that's what Giannis needs to tell Khris Middleton. Run with this narrative, but in reality, I'm the one driving, bro.
I got something new for you, Sel, and it's going to bring this entire show full circle. We can't have it both ways. We spent the first 20 minutes of the show talking about Scottie Pippen. Why were we talking about Scottie Pippen? Because he said, I call shotgun. I call driver's seat.
He ain't call shotgun.
Phil Jackson was like, nah, big dog, you sitting in the back. You going to inbound the ball. Now, we spend the whole show talking about how Scottie is selfish and Scottie is selfish. Kevin Durant,